Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Well, estate planning can be one of the most emotionally difficult aspects of financial planning. One often overlooked aspect of estate planning is talking with your heirs about your legacy plans. Now, most of us probably accept in theory that these conversations are important. Actually, carrying them out can be terribly difficult. So let's talk about a few suggestions that might help with these conversations. First thing is communicate your values about money in a larger context with both words and behavior. Our estate plans often reflect lifelong values such as a commitment to charitable giving or a wish to provide families first. If children are familiar with your values, chances are they're going to have a good idea of what to expect from your estate. You might want to evaluate your children's money skills. Just because kids grow up in the same family doesn't mean that they're going to have the same knowledge and attitudes about money. Especially so if the children will inherit significant amounts. Conversations about estate planning can become part of a larger conversation designed to teach them how to manage and become comfortable with those legacies. If your estate plan doesn't treat children equally, for whatever reasons you might have, it's best to share that information well in advance and to communicate it privately to each child. There are a lot of reasons why treating children differently in an estate plan can be the fairest thing to do, but that doesn't mean it's wise to let them learn the specifics when a will is read. If parents and individual children can discuss these provisions and the reasons for them ahead of time, there's a lot less likelihood of conflict between the siblings after the parents have gone. I'd suggest you don't allow children to assume that they're inheriting more than is the case. And that is often the case, that people assume more on the high side than the low side. If most of your estate will go to charity, don't keep that a secret from them. Not telling the kids may avoid conflict now, but it will certainly sow seeds for deeper conflict and resentment after your death. Prepare the kids for larger, unexpected inheritances. I've worked with heirs who were stunned to receive legacies much larger than their parents' lifestyles had led them to expect. If you have a substantial net worth that's below the radar, perhaps in the form of land or a farm, a ranch, business ownership, your kids might be totally unprepared for what they're going to inherit. Find ways to help them learn more about both the financial and the emotional aspects of managing inherited wealth. You might also want to consider options such as giving more to the children during their lifetime. That would help reduce the impact of a sudden inheritance. Finally, it's a good thing to acknowledge your own fears, although it's seldom expressed. Perhaps the strongest reason for not discussing estate plans with family members is your fear. It's natural for parents to be afraid that their children will be angry or disappointed, will build too much on their expectations for an inheritance, or will be resentful of other heirs. Talking to family members about estate planning and legacies can be difficult, even painful. Those discussions will almost certainly be less painful in the long run than the stories that your kids may make up about your decisions after you're gone. Financial planners and financial coaches can play an important role that goes beyond providing just financial advice. They may also be helpful in facilitating the family conversations. In especially difficult circumstances, the help of a financial therapist can also be invaluable. Using the available resources to help you discuss your wishes with your family members can be a real important aspect of estate planning. Having those difficult conversations, it's one way to enhance that the legacy you want to pass on to your children will be the one you pass on. Thanks for listening.